Welcome back to the channel, boy. I'm 618C's, man. You already know. Shout out to my city, St. Louis. Shout out to my other city, Las Vegas. Shout out to the city that gave me this un- ungivable swagger and confidence. Shot Town. But anyway, we got a reaction video today. Mike Tyson fight turned into a domestic violence. AG, but I ain't gonna even lie. If you grew up in the 80s like me, you already know Mike Tyson fight turned into a fight after the fight because the fight wasn't that long. No way. Mike Tyson fight always turned into the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because old lady know the fight ain't that long, but you staying out, daddy staying out all night long talking about he was at the Tyson fight, but mama done already peeped game. The fight was over in the first round. Hey, it happened like that. Sometimes somebody lose their money and get punched out at the Tyson fight. I done seen it all at a neighborhood Tyson fight. So what we gonna do today? We gonna watch a video about guess what? A neighborhood Tyson fight. We gonna see what happened. See what this boy talking about right here, man.
And recently had a baby. And so earlier on tonight, I went out, came back in, and then I went out to watch the Tyson fight and stuff. Came back in, was like playing with the baby and stuff. And then
Hold on. Did y'all see the way that boy said Tyson fight? Let me rewind just a little bit, bro. The way that boy said Tyson fight, this was his first Tyson fight ever. You could tell this was his first Tyson fight. That boy eyes got big. His eyes got big. He was like, the Tyson fight. I went to the Tyson fight. Let's go. That boy.
stuff. And then she was like, I think she was watching Sex and the City and stuff. And so I made a comment about the show. I was like, oh, I haven't watched the show, but like, this is what I heard about the show. So she was a little defensive about it. I was like, no, like there's no like need to be defensive about it. Like I haven't watched the show. I'm just saying, what I generally hear about the show. But then, she was like just going on and on about it. I was like, hey, take it easy. Like it's not that serious. It's just a show, right? And then the next thing I know, she was like, "Oh, like you're saying all this stuff, and if it's a guy, you wouldn't say stuff like this, to a guy." I'm like, there's no need to be disrespectful about it. It's just a typical show, like I'm just like, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna ignore you, And then we were playing with the baby. I think the baby needed to eat and stuff. So I was like, hey, do you have milk in the fridge? Prepare some milk and stuff.
Hold on. Let me explain something to y'all, right? What's going on in case you don't understand what this man's saying. Bro went to the Tyson fight. He enjoyed himself at the Tyson fight. Now, two things could have happened. Either he didn't come home right after the Tyson fight and he stayed and he kicked it a little longer than he should have, or he came home smelling different than he left when he came back from that Tyson fight. The old lady was mad. She already mad, man. You left me with the baby. I done had a baby. She done left you. You left me with the baby. You went to the Tyson fight. Now you want to come home and talk shit about my TV show? Oh man, it's on. So then he gets to telling her like she probably called him a BAN. You know what it is, a HOAN. I ain't gonna say it, you know what I'm saying? But and then he probably was like, yeah, you keep talking like that, I'm gonna treat you like you know what I'm saying. And then she was like, nah, because if it was a man, no, that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. What happened? He was like, I heard about that show and they be doing blah 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 blah. And he was like, yeah, but if it was a man, you wouldn't care about how it was. She hit him with that feminist movement. Let's go.
Like that. But she kept going on and on about it. And I'm like, hey, it's not that serious, So, obviously we started raising our voices and stuff like that in the house. I'm like, hey, it's not that serious. I don't know why you're being, extra about it. Just a show, like a TV show and stuff like that. Which she claimed she hadn't also watched. So I'm like, you haven't even watched it. So why are you being, super defensive about it? But anyways, things got out of hand and she kept shouting and talking about like the one thing that just was odd about it was the fact that she kept saying, hey, like if it's a man, you're not gonna talk like this to him and stuff. And I'm like, hey, why do you keep bringing like if it's a man, like you're not gonna be like talking like about it like this to him? I'm like, why do you have to make that comparison? You're my wife. I'm just talking to you normally.
So when you say it got out of hand, what do you mean by that?
Like it just kept escalating. Like she kept like yelling at me and talking about like she just kept like taking it to a whole different level.
So what I'm hearing from you is like that it was a verbal argument. Did it get physical at all?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so what happened there?
Yeah, so so we're talking about it, and then I think she went towards like because usually she has this habit of like when we're talking, and then she like goes out of view and stuff, right? So I went like I think she went towards like the what's it called, the laundry room, and then I followed her there. Like I was like, hey, like all I'm just saying is, hey, it doesn't have to get this high rate. Like we don't have to like escalate things to this old level where it's like we can't even hear ourselves talk. I was like, it's just a show. Like they're not paying you for the show. They're not paying me for the show. It's like the show is even an old show, So like, why are we having this old big and also why do you have to like take it to the whole level of like, hey, you're not like all this, you're not like talking like this to other men. I'm like, why are you making comparison with me and like with me talking with other men versus talking to you? Like, are you a man? You're not a man. You're my wife. So like, why make that comparison and stuff? And so we started talking about that and stuff. And sometimes she gets like, high rate, and she does like this old like flamboyant stuff where she like screams and shouts and stuff like that. And so she did that, and I was like, hey, you need to like take it easy. Like the neighbors are sleeping. It's like past 1 at night. Like you can't be yelling like this and stuff like that. And so she was like all like frazzled. I was like, hey, just calm down.
She was holding the baby at this point, right?
No.
Okay, the baby was on the ground?
No, the baby was it. I was with the baby initially.
Okay.
So I put the baby down, and then we're having that conversation. But I was part of the reason why I was telling her, hey, just calm it down, was because the baby was also sleeping. So I finally got the baby to sleep and stuff. So I was like, hey, calm it down. Like there's no need for us to be like yelling at the top of our voices just because of a silly show, and then the baby is like waking up from his sleep and stuff. And so like I was trying to like calm her down and stuff. Things got out of hand there, and 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 so we're just going back and forth and stuff in the garage. Like so, the garage is towards the laundry room, and then we came back in. She was like, okay, cool. Like she's all calm and stuff like that. She took the baby. At that point, I think the baby was crying again and needed some food. So she went to like prepare the milk, brought the milk there, and was feeding the baby. And I was like, hey, but like. I understand we can have disagreements, but like, why try to disrespect me? And she was like saying things like, oh yeah, she's just trying to rile me up so that, when next we have sex, she can't like, I can be, I guess, motivated. I'm like, why are you disrespecting me just to get me motivated to have sex with you? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't get motivated based on someone disrespecting me and demeaning me.
I get the argument. I get that what you're saying. It sounds like both of you guys were frustrated on when you're saying it escalated. How did that happen physically? Because she has a mark on her face where she's bleeding, and her nail is broken, like completely, like down to the.
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know if she got a mark on her face. If she got a mark on her face, then that's probably self-inflicted. If she got a mark on her face, that's absolutely self-inflicted.
Okay, so then how did it get physical?
Yeah, so it got physical when we go back in the house, and she was, and then I was like, hey, she was feeding the baby. I was like, hey, but like, we can get into heated arguments, but we don't have to get to the point where we're like demeaning each other, and then your excuses, you're trying to rile me up for sex, like when we eventually get there. I'm like, that's not my thing. I don't get aroused by stuff like that. I was like, hey, can we just like cut that out? And then she apparently she took offense to that, and she was like, hey, like, no, like she's not gonna like hear me out on that and stuff like that. Like she already told me. I'm like, hey, all I'm just saying is just now we're done with the argument. I was like, hey, we're not arguing anymore. But all I'm just saying is, hey, don't take it to that level, like where you're disrespecting me and then thinking that's supposed to do something to me for me sexually. That's all I said. And then she started moving towards like the door with the baby in her hand.
To leave?
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, hey, like, why you acting like this again? Like, we already had the conversation, we already had the argument.
Let's calm it down.
Yeah, that's done with. I'm like, no need to do all of that. And then she said, running to, she said moving towards the door.
Like she was gonna leave and come out here with the baby.
But then she was with the baby at that point. Yeah. Initially, none of us was with the baby, so I was like, all right, cool.
So that made you like, why are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, it's cold outside. You can't just take your whole baby outside. So I was actually moving towards that, and then I was trying to hold her down, like, hey, don't leave with the baby because it's really, really cold outside. And the baby is not dressed for like, we don't have the baby in a car seat or anything like that. So the baby is not protected for outside. So I was like, hey, don't go out with the baby. Like,
were you so you were trying to stop her from leaving because you didn't want the baby outside?
Yeah, I was like, hey,
were you holding her like on her arms like that?
Yeah, I was like, pulling her. I was like, hey, stop, like, like whatever you do, just leave the baby in here, and then you can go outside if you want to. But like, it's super cold outside. Like, why would you? And then she started running outside, and she was doing all this like theatrical stuff. Like, hey, help me! I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, stop! Like, stop being dramatic. Did you
try and grab her like to stop her again?
I was like pulling her, like, hey, stop! Like, don't go outside with the baby. Like, all I'm just telling you is, you can go outside with the baby, but leave the baby in there. I mean, you.
He lying. He was trying to drag her back in the house, keep her from screaming and having the neighbors find out. Because you could tell he got a Tesla, so they probably live in a nice area, got a nice little townhouse or a nice little first family house. You know what I'm saying? A little $400,000-$500,000 joint.
You can go outside by yourself, but leave the baby inside. Because the baby was not dressed for all that. So that was what I was. That was when it got like physical, where I was like literally trying
pulling her back.
Yeah, pull her in, like, hey,
do you think her face could have gotten cut? It sounds like it was very emotional. Do you think her face could have gotten cut during that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, honestly, I don't know. I might, my nails might not be all the way down, so it might have happened that way. But honestly, I don't think I even got to her face because I was literally holding her hand. And I know the baby was on her hand.
Was she like trying to get out, being like, let me go, like
and then doing all that, like, I'm like, I'm gonna scream. I'm like, hey, all I'm just telling you is leave the baby in the house.
Do you have like a license or something on you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, thank you. He's gonna get your info into our system. Sure. Just do me a favor, hang tight here for me, okay?
Sure.
All right.
We're in contact with police out there.
All right, I know you told me your name again, but I already forgot it.
Visui.
Visui?
Yes.
All right. Can you just do me a favor and step out of the car real quick?
Sure.
They finna lock Visui up. Visui, you go to jail.
It's your phone? Yeah, my phone is my phone.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you turn around.
Yeah.
Place your hands behind your back.
Okay.
You're getting arrested for domestic battery.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Are those pinching your skin or anything?
No, not.
I mean, I know they're not comfortable. I just want to make sure they're not causing any damage to you.
I'm gonna double lock them so that they don't get any tighter on you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna remove
one male in custody.
I'm gonna remove your watch so it doesn't get pinched.
Oh, okay. All
right. You'll have it with you.
Can I ask? Is it just a word versus mine? That's
no. So I mean, arguing isn't illegal, but when you get to the point of putting your hands on someone, then that's a battery, right? And she has injuries. Like I said, she has the cut on her face. She has the mark, or she has the broken nail, right? And you said that you held her to stop her from leaving.
Yeah.
That's domestic battery. Okay.
Okay, so me holding her.
Here, we can walk and talk. We'll walk and talk.
All right, cool.
And mine? Okay.
Would you mind doing that? I can take
Transport? All right. We're going to go right in front of here. We're going to search you. Do you have anything in your pockets?
Just one phone.
Okay. Go ahead and separate your feet. Do you mind doing it since you're male? What do you have? Just your...
My phone and I think my earphone.
Okay. Okay. Nothing sharp or anything?
No.
Shouldn't be. Anybody else at the house?
No.
See them houses, that's why he didn't want her running out the house screaming and stuff, yelling for the help and all that stuff. You gonna make it even look bad now. I can't even show my face in the hood, bro. Like, it's certain behaviors when you live in the suburbs, it's certain behaviors that the neighbors, we just not gonna tolerate. Like, we be side-eyeing you when you have a certain kind of behavior in the hood, bro, and in the community, shall I say, in the community. We don't like that. For real. We don't like when y'all be misbehaving like that in the community, man. So this speed, you got to put yourself in there. Now, do I think this Sweet hit her? I don't think this Sweet hit her for real. I think this Sweet was pulling on her and she with them long hair, she scratched her face, trying to show me and get away now. So that's just what I think. But what I think don't matter, you know what I'm saying? They locked this Sweet up. This Sweet gotta prove it now in the court of law. So it is what it is. What y'all think? Y'all think this Sweet wrong? Y'all think this Sweet did something? This Sweet definitely did something wrong, man. One thing about it, Sweet, your woman think you a lame, bro. She think you weak, bro. She think you a chump, bro. On the real, she want to get aggressive with you because she want to see that man come out. She want you to slam her on the bed and take her to P-Town, but you know what I'm saying? But if you display that masculine energy, you come in the house, you arguing with her over her show Sex in the City, bro. You want to talk trash and you've been out kicking it with your people, bro. Nah, you supposed to come in and be like, yeah, that's a crazy little show. Sit down with her, watch a couple minutes, listen to what your woman got to say. But that's just how I would do it. You know what I'm saying? This week, you did it all wrong. And then, let me tell y'all something, bro. Anytime a woman walk out of the room, away from an argument, bro, never follow her into another room to keep arguing.
JavaScript developers,
That's
have you
the
ever made
energy
it to
that
the
I
final
mean when I
interview
say
stage just to get told?
she think you. That's the energy I mean. I say she think Visui a chump. She really think Visui a chump because this is why she walked away and you walked right in the room, follow her to keep arguing, bro. And then, like she said, you wouldn't put your hands on a man when she go, you know what I'm saying? You want to grab on her and shake her and snatch on her and drag her back in the house. Yeah, she gonna start screaming and stuff, bro, because she's sick of you at this point, bro. That's just my opinion, though, bro. I'm 61ACs, man. This video came from Illinois Cams Exposed. Again, if you want to watch that whole video, man, without me, go on over there and watch it, man. I ain't even mad at you. But if you stayed this long, man, you might as well hit that subscribe button, like it, leave a comment, and I'm out, man. I appreciate y'all for watching these videos. Hey, and if ain't nobody told you they want to see you win, it's one person in this world that absolutely do want to see you win. It's me. I'm 61ACs.